I am Silas House, and this is Southernmost. I think the way to capture the South is not to romanticize it and not to vilify it. To just show it as a complex place where there are good people and bad people and everything in between. I think the South is always a microcosm of America. If you capture it accurately, then you're capturing the whole country accurately. I tend to not think that I'm writing about Southerners as much as I think that I'm writing about human beings who live in the South. Southernmost is about Astra Sharp, who's a preacher in his mid-30s, an evangelical preacher. And 10 years before, he has, in a really terrible way, rejected his brother when he came out to him. So over the last 10 years, he's been examining himself, figuring out what he really believes in. And he's been doing this pretty quietly. But the same weekend that marriage equality passes, a devastating flood hits this small community outside Nashville. And it leads to a few things happening that make him feel like that he has to no longer be quiet. He has to act. He has to do something. His congregation is blaming the flood on the passage of marriage equality, and he can't take it anymore. So he stands up and says something, and that changes everything for him.
Tell us about Asher. Is he somebody who came to you fully formed, or did you sort of figure him out as you went?
No, I worked on him for years, trying to figure him out, and it took me a long time to crack him. But when I figured out he was an evangelical preacher, I had him. I knew everything that I needed to know about him. I grew up in an evangelical church. All those preachers seemed so convinced of what they were saying in the pulpit. And as I got older, I thought they must have had some doubts every once in a while about some of that. And so I thought that was an interesting thing to look at. I mean, there's nothing worse for an evangelical preacher than to lose his faith. You know, Asher has lost his ability to pray. He doesn't even know if he believes in anything anymore. You know, as a novelist, that's what you're really looking for. You want your characters to be in as much trouble as possible. And he's in lots of layers of trouble when the book starts.
Thank you for being here, Silas.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for A Word on Words. I'm Mary Laura Philpott. Keep reading. You were a mail carrier?
I was. I was driving on the wrong side, so you know, my legs over the console. I was usually smoking back then, probably eating, putting mail in the box, and writing my novel in my head. Yeah.